Chapter 11. Sri Sadguru said, even great scholars become bewildered while determining the true import of Vedanta, for Vedas speak of truths indirectly. Open explanations are not found in them. Some are monist, some are dualist. All give explanations in accordance with the line of thinking they possess. That the Supreme Being is incomprehensive is brought out clearly by all the explanatory commentaries given by the scholars of the Vedanta. All those who meditate upon Sri Vasudeva, the dwelling place of all good and the exquisitely handsome one, discerned by all the Vedas, are the ones blessed with true worth of life and its fruit. A yati named Madhusoodana Saraswati lived in Kashi. He was an adept in all shastras and was revered by the noble people. He was following the sannyasa dharma and lived from alms. Diving deep into the implications of concepts of Atma and Anatma, he considered all the three worlds to be of no significance. He spent his time in expounding the secret precepts of the Vedanta in the assemblage of saints daily on the bank of holy Ganga. Many saints found peace of mind and lasting joy in the company of Sri Madhusoodana Saraswati, the illustrious ascetic, whose learned brilliance shone like the brightness and radiance of 1,000 suns, and who was endowed with wisdom and renunciation. Every day, when the discourse of Vedanta was going on, an old man was seen clapping his hands, ridiculing them all. Madhusoodana Saraswati and all other saints assembled there considered that old man who did so every day to be a madman. One day, Madhusoodana Saraswati happened to meet that old man on the way. Considering that man who used to make fun of him to be mad, the former asked him the following question. Madhusoodana Saraswati asked, every day when Vedanta discourse is going on the bank of the river Ganga, you are laughing at that. What is the reason for that? What is the reason for it? The old man replied, O prime ascetic, the Vedas have clearly brought out that the form of the absolute being cannot be understood through discourses. Even then, you are trying to reach out for it through arguments and counter-arguments. Madhusoodana Saraswati said, one should meditate on the true form of the absolute being and should hear descriptions of it. Such instructions are found in the Vedanta texts. Hence, I speak out the real import of all the Vedanta texts to the saints. The old man said, how can a concept which is beyond description be ascertained? After tasting the luscious sweetness of that Supreme Being, only silence remains. Is that not true? Madhusoodana Saraswati replied, O most fortunate man, my respects to you. I have not heard any spiritual experiences and realization. Hence, I am diving into the true import of the Shastras with the help of intellectual power alone. The old man said, without self-experience, it is impossible to find out the secret meaning of the Shastras. What use does the knowledge of secret precepts of Shastras have for one who has obtained self-experience and realization? Madhusoodana Saraswati asked, then what benefit does the world derive from the commentaries of Brahmasutras written by Mahatma Sri Shankara? The old man replied, O wise man, those commentaries were rendered by the noble Sri Shankara in order to silence the Buddhists who were opposed to Vedic tenets. and also those who violated the Vedic precepts. Ascetics like you who are endowed with jnana and vairagya should go in search of Brahma realization. That realization puts an end to the cycles of births and deaths. Madhusudana Saraswati said, "You are the greatest of men of wisdom. I request you to tell me without delay the method to be adopted for me for getting such realization. You are wandering on this earth like a madman. May I know who you are?" The old man replied, "Some conquer sensory desires and practice yoga strictly. Some others engage in karma yoga, discharging the prescribed duties sincerely with an even mind. Some ascetics engage in studying the intricacies of Atma and Anatma. Still others go around the earth as wandering saints with firm faith and vairagya. Some practice strict celibacy, meditating on Pranava mantra. Some realized saints roam about unclad. Let those desirous of seeing the supreme divine light see it through any one of the paths mentioned above. But you give up all methods enlisted in the Shastras and follow me. I shall reveal my true form to you." Sri Sadguru continued. That Brahmana, the illustrious Yati, spoke thus and started running towards the Yamuna, and there he suddenly vanished due to his mystic powers. Sri Madhusudana Saraswati followed him but could not find him there. Instead, he had a vision of the primeval absolute Brahman there itself. Sri Madhusudana Saraswati saw Sri Krishna, who appeared before him with his flute in his hand, who was brilliant like the fresh rain-bearing clouds, who was clad in a yellow silk garment, who had lips like ripe berry fruits, and who had countenance like full moon, and eyes like lotus flowers. Sri Madhusudana Saraswati realized him to be the Supreme Soul. Stunned with the bliss born of his coveted darshan of the true form of divinity, he experienced the ultimate realization of the Brahman, which does away with sorrowful worldly existence. Every day he had a vision of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Person, in the form of resplendent sapphire moving fast on Yamuna sands. Finding his keen interest in Advaita being stolen away by Lord Krishna thus, he resided there practicing ardent devotion. He became ashamed of himself for having been enchanted by Lord Krishna and for having forgotten under his spell his ideas of contemplating the formless Brahman and of teaching the Advaita philosophy. Thus, Sri Krishna, using his stately ways and charming cunningness, steals away the pious hearts of yogis who dwell on the knowledge of formless Brahman. Thus ends the chapter 11, entitled Madhusoodana Saraswati Charitam of Book 1 of Shri Vaishnava Samhita, composed by Shri Krishna Premi Swamigal.